Has it ever crossed your mind to wonder why the Christmas colors are red and green? One of the things I love about doing this series is the process of asking questions that might seem like the answers should be obvious, then doing a whole pile of research and realizing that it's both obvious and way more interesting than you would have guessed. Hi friends, my name is Greg Simpson. I'm a minister in the United Church of Canada, and this season we are looking at some of the traditions and rituals, and in this case, colors, that are important to us today, and just wonder why they are and how we got here, and should we even bother keep using them? Now, although my roots come from a Christian background and that's kind of where I start my research, it turns out that the ideas of using red and green are way broader than just the Western Christian ideas that we think now. They go back many, many years. It turns out that almost every group of humans who live in the Northern Hemisphere and encounter winter of some way, shape, or form celebrate the middle of the winter. For some of them, that's a winter solstice. For others, it's more of a harvest festival. And all of them are looking at life one way or another. Think about being an ancient people in the dead of winter where it's white everywhere, it's very, very cold, and the days are short. You learn by following the patterns of day and night and looking at the stars and tracking things to figure out which day is the shortest day and the longest night. And you put your celebration on that day. And if you're some groups of people, you set up stones that identify that day so that we know when the sun is exactly here between these two stones, that is the winter solstice. Or if you come from slightly more temperate zones, you might be celebrating the end of harvest, right as your weather is shifting from the growing season to something else. And in both those cases, you're going to be paying a lot of attention to the sun. You're going to be paying a lot of attention to life. If you're celebrating the winter solstice, there's a good chance that you're celebrating new life because the days that have shortened are about to begin to get longer. And there are very, very few plants on the face of the planet that do a better job of staying alive in the middle of difficult situations than evergreens. Now, not every bit of geography has spruce trees, and in fact, this one isn't even a real one, but holly and ivy and mistletoe and fir and spruce and pine, they have all been celebrated because they stay green throughout the year. And they have been used as a reminder of new life, that there is new life to come even in the time when it's difficult. So the green means new life. And the red? Well, that very frequently in ancient times would look at the sunset or the sunrise, those vivid colors. And that red was also about new life. Now, the sunset and sunrise are not the only red things that represent new life. In fact, blood itself, for a group of people who slaughter animals and eat them, they know very well that the blood is what keeps the animal alive. And so for some cultures, green is the external life force, red is the internal life force. And not surprisingly, for the last 2,000 years as Christianity was growing across the world, those ideas of new life, internal life force, they got wrapped in, they got co-opted, they got borrowed from, or maybe they even said, hey, I really like the way you're celebrating that. Can we celebrate it too and have it have meaning within our religion and our culture as well? Now, don't get me wrong. I recognize that Christianity has a long history of telling other groups, if you don't worship the same thing as we do, then you are wrong and we're most likely going to kill you and steal your land. That is a reality. But the other thing is that they borrowed from the cultures even as they were wiping them out. And so it would be impossible for us to say that a Christmas tree, Christ Mass tree, is an only Christian sort of thing. The Norse would have something to say about that. The ancient Romans would have something to say about that. And as we step out of the European cultures and travel across Southern Asia to the east, we find that red and green, both in different ways and in different cultures, represent life in many different ways. So then, why wouldn't we Christians and non-Christians take a look at green and red and celebrate new life in the midst of winter? Now that's only looking at green and red, and of course white and blue also come up as Christmas colors sometimes as well, but we might leave them for another video. But my encouragement to you today and this holiday season is to look for the other cultures, find how they are using colors to mean life to them, to celebrate newness and rebirth and reinvigoration. Learn something about somebody else and see how that impacts you. If you've missed any of the previous videos about Christmas and Advent, you can click there to get a previous one. And if you want to know when I upload the next one, you can subscribe right up there. I love you all. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.